Hello, folks. My name is Timothy Phelps. Welcome to Phelps Can Help TV. Now, I'm the owner of Phelps Can Help LLC, and I believe that everyone has hurdles in which they must overcome in life. I believe that everyone needs someone in their corner, and I know that with God and massive ambition, anyone can overcome the odds. Now, as most of y'all are aware, I've had a lot of hurdles that I've had to overcome in my life. I had to overcome them and find success. And my first success was found in real estate. Now, I credit a lot of my success to my broker, Stephen Dowell, as he believed in me before I truly began believing in myself. Now, Stephen will be joining us in the studio very shortly, and I'm excited to have him as a special guest. Not only is he my broker, but he is a great friend. And it was easy for us to become friends, though, as we've endured a lot of similar things in our lives. Most of you who know me, of course, probably know Stephen, but there are some who do not know Stephen as well, that from the followings all around the world. So let me tell you a little bit about this man. So Stephen Dowell is the broker for one of the fastest growing real estate companies in central and southern Kentucky. Since starting his career in 2014, Stephen has been involved either as an agent or a broker in over 1,000 real estate transactions. And his company, Realty World Dowell and Associates, has closed on over $100 million since opening their doors in 2018, with more than 50 million in 2020 alone. Stephen has overcome multiple obstacles to achieve these milestones, and he knows that if he can do it, you can do it as well. So, without further ado, I want to go ahead and bring Stephen into the studio. So, welcome, Stephen Dowell. Thank you for joining us here on Phelps Can Help TV. How are you doing today, sir?
I am doing excellent, and thank you so much for having me, Timothy. This is a great honor.
Excellent. Most definitely happy to have you here. Now, Stephen, you have been, like I said already, you have been in the business since 2014. That's a long time. And you've been very successful. You have your own real estate company. You have 3 offices. I mean, absolutely incredible. You're doing amazing things. Now, I know there are a lot of entrepreneurs that are watching. So I'd like to be able to give a little bit of advice along the way to them, as well as there are people who can really benefit, I think, from your story as well. So first of all, do you care to tell us a little bit about how you got started in real estate, maybe a little bit about your journey through the years and, just even things you had to endure, you had to overcome within your real estate career?
Absolutely, Timothy. It's kind of a funny story because I was in real estate as a very young man, pretty much just right out of high school, and didn't really do a whole lot with it. But I was always enamored with real estate and was fascinated by it. And life happens and went other directions. But I had gotten divorced, which is something I never wanted to have happen. It was one of the hardest things that I've ever dealt with. And after the divorce, I had a dream to become a teacher. That was actually my goal, what I wanted to accomplish. And I went through all the channels, got my bachelor's degree in elementary education, then got my master's in leadership in education, and could never find a job. And so I wanted a job. I realized I was going to have to do something financially, and I wanted a job that would allow me to spend time with my daughter when I had her, and not interfere with that in any way. And so I knew that real estate, I could set my own schedule. And so I started in real estate in 2014, and my goal at that time was to do if I could make $30,000 a year, I thought, oh, I'll be flying. And if I work really, really hard, maybe I can grow that by 20% a year. That was my initial goal. Well, my first year in the business, I did $38,000 in my pocket, 55,000 in GCI, and I was my company's #1 agent, and that filled me with a lot of self-esteem and pride that I didn't have before. And since I was able to achieve 38,000, I thought my second year, maybe, just maybe, if I work really hard, I could make $50,000. And so my second year in the business, my GCI, my gross commission income, was 135,000, and I made $85,000, which is something I never dreamed possible for myself. And I realized that that's awful close to 100,000 in my pocket. So that was my goal for the third year. The third year, I did 191,000 in GCI and put in my pocket 135. And that's when my life really began to change. Once I crossed over into that six-figure income level, I saw a big change in my life, and it's a change that honestly I'm not always aware of, because I've always struggled. And so now that I don't have to struggle anymore, it's sometimes odd to me. I'll give you an example. I got on my lawnmower because at that time I was still mowing my own yard. If you're in business, don't be mowing your own yard. Your time's too important. But anyways, I got on my lawnmower for the first time that season, and it wouldn't start. It needed a new battery. And I thought, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? I need a new battery. And they're like $60, $75. And I thought, wait a minute, I can go out and buy 10 lawnmowers and pay cash. What's the matter? But I was so used to struggling. And so my fourth and final year as an agent, I was able to do $255,000 in GCI by the end of November, and reaching that $250,000 milestone. It was a huge transformation for me. I took the month of December 2017 off, and I started my own company. And man, I was scared to death. I didn't know my company is named Realty World Dowell and Associates. At that time, it was just me. I didn't know if anybody would ever join me or not, and so it was very scary. I also didn't know if the people who listed with me, if their properties would get noticed as much being a brand new company. And so it was very, very scary. But within 30 days, I had 3 agents. We were one of the members of the founding club, and that's Amy Brown, Tina Clay, and yourself that had joined. And we were on our way. And the rest is history, as they say. But our first year in business, we were able to do $19,350,000 and close on 174 deals. Our second year in business, we raised that to 293, and then 38.7 million in sales. And then this last year, we just finished 416 transactions with $55.4 million in sales this year. So this past year. And so what is the secret to all of this? Well, as I tell all the agents that come in as a new agent, your biggest obstacle when you start a new business is obscurity. No one knows what you do. No one knows that you're in this business, and you've got to change that. And how do you change that quickly and cheaply? Because you cannot afford, especially in the beginning, to spend a lot of money. Well, first of all, whatever customers you do have, you have to give tremendous service. You have to really make sure that you go the extra mile for everyone that you deal with, and let them know how much you appreciate them. But you have to let people know. And so social media marketing has always been the key to my success. It was as an agent, same thing. I had written some books before I got my real estate license, and thank you all so much. And I'd written some books, and I had used Facebook marketing to sell those books, and we had sold a few thousand books before. And I thought, well, maybe, just maybe, this will work with real estate too. And so we used social media marketing. Video marketing is extremely on target, and it helps people to know who you are and what you do. It stands out to people more than just a post. And so we use that. We've always used that in my business, and it's what I call the key to my success. My bread and butter is social media marketing.
Excellent. Great advice there. And you've definitely proven that, with hard work and, with proper marketing and stuff, that you can definitely go far and find success. And I always love some of the things you say along the way, because you're always trying to be, very motivating and inspirational, and just, help build morale and stuff. And I love that. But one thing that you said there, you was talking about, you know, getting in basically to realize that your mindset, basically to realize that you're able to do more than what you thought you was before, because you if you're not used to having a lot and then you all of a sudden get there, it's hard to change that, so to speak, within yourself. And a lot of that ties into mindset. Now, you don't want to get in the mindset of overdoing it, of course, but
Right.
just in anything you do, mindset is vitally important. And once you reach a certain level, knowing and being able to have that mindset that you need to take certain steps to even further and to grow your business even higher than what you already are at. And I know you talk a lot about once you reach certain levels, hire somebody to mow your yard, do the quick pickups and stuff where somebody delivers your food, or at least does the shopping for you. Like, there's certain things that you always tell us, once we reach certain levels. And I love that, because a lot of times it is hard to get yourself in that mindset, or, once you hit a certain level, hire somebody. And that's vitally important. Now, for a lot of people that's watching, they may not be really aware of how real estate works. In real estate, as a realtor, we're independent contractors. We run our own business. Stephen is our broker, but technically he's not our boss, right, Stephen?
That is correct. That is correct, Timothy.
So we are our own boss. We work for ourselves. Basically, we run our business within his business, and he is our broker, and he helps us along the way, and he does an excellent job at that. Now, with that being said, a lot of times as a broker, you'll find a lot of times that brokers will just be there to maybe answer questions, do things, help you out with transactions or something along those lines. But a lot of times it's not, you don't have a lot of morale boosting and, inspiration along the way. Now, we do a lot of video chatting. Stephen's always, that's one thing, man, I've loved about him. That's one thing that's really helped me over the years is, he's very inspirational. He'll try to motivate people. He'll try to boost morale. He'll do special things for the realtors. A lot of times it's like, if you work for a huge company as an employee and, you have a boss, sometimes your boss may do special things to kind of maybe contests or, incentives or something like that really help boost that morale and make you work harder, so to speak. As a broker, a lot of times you don't see that. That's one thing that Stephen does very well. And Stephen, if you don't mind, what's some of the things over the past couple of years since you opened Realty World Dowell and Associates that you've done kind of as incentives or motivational things or morale boosters, extra things above and beyond that you've done to help the realtors not only to not basically to help them to build their business to heights that they never imagined?
Well, Timothy, we've done quite a few things. And of course, cash is always king. So sometimes
yes.
we'll have contests where, if you bring in whoever brings in the next listing gets something, gets a figure amount, or whoever, does a certain production level gets a certain dollar amount. Or we've done boat rides where, I have a new pontoon boat and people can take their families out on that. For example, we go on trips, for example, and we just recently went to the Biltmore House, a group of us did, and you were on that trip, and we had a great time.
Yes, we did.
There's all kinds of things that we do to help motivate, because, like I said, my dream was to be a teacher, and so I want to help guide and lead. And I know that that incentives are extremely important when you're trying to achieve something. You've got to have some incentives. And I think that's one of the reasons why our agents work as hard as they do, because with our company, we don't pay differently because we gave you the lead. We don't pay differently because you sell a home that is listed with someone else. And so I think a lot of times things like that demotivate agents because they realize, I'm not going to make as much money as I could be making. And so we always want to motivate financially. But there's other things too. We want to invest in the agents as a person and look at their total needs, because we have all kinds of needs besides just financial. We have emotional, we have social needs. We look for ways to do that. One of the things that's dear to my heart that we do is we have a convention once a year. And at this convention, we bring in vendors that allow the agents to build relationships with people that they may need for their customers throughout the year. We also like to recognize the agents for their achievements and for their hard work, and so we give out awards at the convention as well. But every month we do a video for the agents that are in the top 3 or 5 or 10, whatever the case may be, in sales. And so awards, financial, trips, and just being there for them. My goal is to be there for you. So I no longer work as an agent in the field. When I get leads that come to me directly, I distribute those out to the agents so that I'm available when you're with a customer and have a question and need something. And so that's I think that's a big difference in our company and other companies. Is my focus is on the agents and their success. And I know that if each agent is successful, the company will be successful as a whole. And so I think that's one of the biggest things that we have to offer is just my availability. So because I know that when you're out in the field and you have a situation that you're not comfortable with, you don't know exactly what to do, it's critical and crucial that you get that information ASAP, because it could mean all the difference in getting a deal and not getting a deal in real estate.
Most definitely. Now, I think one of the little contest incentives that you did that really, I think, boosted me. I'm going to tell this story just for a moment, because this is something that really got me going and made a huge impact on my business. And I know this. I think it was the second contest that you had ran, and it was for whoever did the most video marketing would receive a 1 month, I think it was, house cleaning service paid for by you.
Yes.
And man, we fought for that too.
Yes. That was a good one. And that goes along with what I was saying before, of your time being so valuable. And that was to really teach you, because whoever, won that free month of house cleaning service, they're gonna see the difference that makes in your life. And this is such a time-consuming job. You have to put a lot of hours in, that every minute is critical and crucial. And so, if you're not working, you don't need to be cleaning the house. You need to be spending the time with your family and enjoying yourself and resting and recuperating from all your mental work that you've had to do. And so, your time is extremely valuable. And that was the goal of that contest, was to teach you all how valuable your time really is.
Well, not only that, but there was another lesson there too, if you remember, and that was really showcasing to us what the video marketing can truly do for your business. Because not only did it help us to ensure that we got the job done quickly and effectively for our clients, but our business, I mean, the phone started ringing like crazy, more than it ever had, because, like you said earlier, getting out of obscurity, that's the hardest thing for most people in any business. It's not just real estate, any business.
Any business.
If they don't know you, they won't flow you. You got to be able to, they've got to know who you are.
Right.
And that was a huge thing there, because once we did, we was always online on social media doing the video marketing and stuff, whether it was marketing homes, whether it was marketing our businesses, whether it was marketing ourselves, whatever the case may be, we was getting seen and getting known. And that is vitally important in any industry that you're involved in. So
absolutely.
that was one of the greatest memories I have of being part of Realty World Dowell Associates, was that, because it proved and showed so much in just one simple contest. And man, we fought for that. And I I remember, it was so close between me and one other that you was like, I can't even figure out who, because there were so many to sit here and count. He's
Yeah.
like, I can't figure
Yeah.
out who, so I'm just giving it to both of you.
That's
So,
right.
we
That's
greatly
right.
appreciate everything you do. Everything you do, we greatly appreciate it. Okay, so moving forwards a little bit, in business, another thing that you have to do is you have to show your appreciation for not only the people who work with you or for you in some cases, but you also have to continuously show just how important the people that have truly been the biggest part of your success, and that's your clients, and they become more like family a lot of times. But it goes far beyond the transaction. We could easily sell a house or sell a house for someone, and that be the end of it. Transaction's over. See you later. Hopefully next time. But we don't want that. We want to ensure that we are always showing them how much we appreciate them. Correct?
Absolutely.
And that's something that you did way before you ever owned your own, your own real estate company, but you still had your own business in real estate as a realtor before
Right.
that. Can you tell a little bit about how you have over the years shown your appreciation for clients, as well as how you've instilled this within your the realtors that work with you as well?
Absolutely. So I always believe that you're going to be more successful when you're doing something that you love. And when
Yes.
you love something, you need to share that with your people. You need, most of your customers are what you might call a part of your tribe. They're people that have been led to you through common experiences. They see you on social media. They like what they see, and they can feel a connection there. And so, one of the things that I've always loved is taking my daughter to the movies and sharing that family time together, where we laugh or or we get excited from a thriller movie or whatever the case may be. We love to do that, and so very early on, I started doing customer appreciation events as an agent. And I think my first one, I think we had like 15 people to show up or something. And as an agent, we do these every quarter or every 4 months or so, and they just grew and grew. And so as an agent, I think there towards the end, we were having 50, 60, 70 people to show up. And so when we started Realty World Dowell Associates, we wanted to continue that tradition of customer appreciation events, because if it wasn't for our customers, we would have nothing. And so all of our blessings come from our customers, and they do very often become friends and family. And some of my closest friends have been customers that I've had, and I get people almost on a daily basis saying, "Hey, Steve, I saw this for sale by owner over here," and I said, "Thank you." And so they don't have to do that. That means the world to me. And so, we started having the customer appreciation events when we opened Realty World Dowell Associates, and then we opened an office in London. That made it a little bit more difficult, so we started having them in two places, and I'd fly from one to the next one, and it was, pretty good. But then in 2020, of course, with COVID, all that stopped, and so we wanted to figure out a way that we could, still show our customers that we really appreciated. And so we decided the last quarter of the year we would do $1,000 giveaway because that's about what we would spend on two of these events. And so we wanted to at least put forth some effort and show people that, hey, we've not forgot you. We still love you. You're still part of the family, and we want to help you if we can. And so we had about 350 customers roughly to enter the drawing. And I'm proud to say that one of our very first customers, when we opened Realty World Dowell Associates, Zach and Tessa Bell, they won the drawing, and they're a young couple with two young children, and it was a real blessing for us to be able to bless them. And I wish we could do that for everybody, but we don't forget you when the deal's done. A lot of times, I think that happens with salespeople. They're on to the next, and they don't look backwards. But we know that we wouldn't be where we're at today without the people that get us there. And that's one of the things I told Zach and Tessa when they came to pick up the check. We wouldn't be here today if it hadn't been for you and people like you giving us a chance when we first opened our doors and trusting us with your business. And we couldn't be more grateful.
Exactly. So, anyone who's in business for yourselves, or whatever the case may be, if you're in business and especially in sales, and you've got a client, make sure you don't forget them once the deal's done, because it's so vitally important. They're a huge part of your success. Without them, you wouldn't be where you're at. No matter where you're at in your career, you wouldn't be there without your clients. So make sure that you just show them that appreciation and that love, and just how much just let them know how you feel, because that's vitally important in business. Because if they feel like you're just a transaction guy, and once it's over, it's done, then you forgot about them, they'll forget about you too.
That's right.
That's the way it is. So you just want to make sure that you're doing that. All right, Stephen. So I know that you've written several books. You've written several real estate books. You've written a book called Tender Heart, which tells a little bit about your life. Now, a lot of people that may be watching that don't know you may look at you and think, okay, you're very successful. Maybe you've come from a rich family, a wealthy family, a very successful family. How is that true? Would that be true?
No.
Okay.
Not by any means.
Well, I said a little bit earlier that we have kind of a similar story, and I think that's why we kind of connected so well, and we became good friends. Would you care to tell a little bit about your life growing up, some of the things that you endured, and just tell your story?
Certainly. I come from what was called a broken home, and my father was not in my life at all whatsoever, and my mother worked for less than minimum wage, and so I grew up in government housing, and we used food stamps to eat with, and which was always a huge embarrassment to me. And I always dreamed of a better life. And I can remember driving on the school bus and driving by beautiful homes and thinking, what in the world must these people do to be able to live like this? And that's one of the reasons that I love real estate so much, and so drawn to it. But it was a very hard childhood. There was lots of abuse there as well, both physically and verbally, emotionally. Just a lot of things that I had to overcome, and by the grace of God was able to do that. And I have to stop for just a second and give God all the credit and all the glory, because it was at 15 on September the 18th, 1988, that I accepted the Lord as my personal Savior, and that's when I came to know what a father really was through my relationship with Him. And I'm old-fashioned, and I believe what the book says. And the book says that I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me. Now, I know that I have a lot of limitations within myself, but I know that He has none. And so I just believe that. And so I live my life that way. And I've had a lot of ups and downs. I've never really found true success until now. I mean, I had a restaurant of my own, but we never really, had that success level. I've worked for other companies and been good in sales, but never could achieve that success. And like I said earlier, my dream was to become a teacher, and I never could find that job. And so it was difficult along the way not to question God as to why this had happened or why that had happened, and why I never could achieve what I wanted to achieve. But I kept having faith that regardless of what my situations said, the book says that I can do all things. And so I just kept on believing that. And if you look at, you mentioned that we had some similar circumstances in the past. That's true. But if you look at a lot of our other agents, they've had a lot of struggles as well. And I truly believe that, we stayed faithful through the hard times. And then God saw that, and He rewarded us, and He brought us all into our season of blessings together. I really, really do believe that, and I'm so thankful for all that He's done. And I know that it's through His favor and blessings that we've been able to do that. But you know, you're going to go through hard times. You're going to struggle, but you cannot let the struggle make you bitter. You have to let it make you better.
Excellent, excellent. So now, Stephen, one thing that I always say that I believe is, I believe that everyone needs someone in their corner. And in your book, Tenderheart, there was a point that you had mentioned that you wonder if you just had one person believing in you and just being interested in you, being interested in your education, what you could have achieved. Now you have achieved a lot, but man, what could you have achieved even sooner or even more if you'd had that one person? And sometimes that's all it takes. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. Support from another person. We get inspiration and we get encouragement from God, absolutely. But having a person could have made a huge difference. Someone you could lean on and rely on and depend on would have made a huge difference. Somebody you respect, somebody that is a quality person in themselves. If I'd had that, it would have been wonderful. But God knows what He's doing.
Yes, and He does put people in your place, to kind of help you through things and to be there alongside you and help you along the way. Sometimes we can be blind to that, though, because if we're focusing on the negatives, we're gonna see the negatives more often.
Right. You cannot focus on the negatives. You cannot focus on the
Correct.
negatives. You have to celebrate your wins. That's another thing I tell the agents. You have to celebrate your wins,
No matter how big or small.
Exactly. No matter how big or small, it's okay to pat yourself on the back. You need to do that. Sometimes you have to be the person for you.
Yes.
Especially when you don't have a person.
And that's something I've struggled with over the years for sure. I'm bad about not liking to brag on myself, but I do tell people that create when you're creating goals and stuff, to make sure you're creating quick, easy goals as well every day, such as making your bed or something simple. That way when you're achieving those simple things every single day, you're almost training your brain to see that success, to know that you can be successful, and it will help you in bigger things as well. Most definitely. So
absolutely. And it's not bragging if it's true.
That's right. It's not bragging if it's true. You got, yeah, I like that. All right, Stephen, this has definitely been excellent. And, I greatly appreciate you coming on here and just, talking with us and giving some advice to entrepreneurs and, telling a little bit about your story. I know, like you said, you had to endure abuse and stuff as well. And it's hard going through abuse, and whether physically, verbally, mentally, it's hard going through that and then making it like you have to be successful, because it really messes with your mind. And over the years, one thing that I know that you had to do yourself was to basically change your mindset. And I always say, change your mindset, change your life. You have to be able to find a way of overcoming that mindset. And anything that you endured that's traumatizing can truly do a number on your mind and can have you feeling like, there's no hope. And I know there's people that's watching that have struggled over the years. I know for a fact a couple people that's on here right now that have went through, similar situations as we have. And some of them have not found their success yet. But I want you to know, if you're watching and you feel like there's no hope, there is hope.
Absolutely.
You can definitely make it through anything that you've been through. And the things that you endured in your past, those things are your past. Only look to your past to see how far you came. You can't drive into the future looking through the rearview mirror. We cannot focus on the past because if we do, then it will control us, it will haunt us, and it will ruin us if we allow it. But those things are hurdles. They're not walls. They cannot stop us. We can overcome them, and you can do this. Just like Stephen. Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
That was our slogan for 2018.
That's right.
But the harder the battle, the sweeter the victory.
Exactly.
And I was 40 years old, almost 41, before I ever got into real estate to begin with.
He's telling his age.
Yeah. And I was 45 right at 45 before we opened our company. So, I'd seen a lot of failures, and it would have been very easy just to say, okay, I'm just doomed to failure. But I just kept on going, and that's all you can do. You have to have faith. You have to have faith, and it will work out. If you keep working, it will work out. You'll only fail when you quit trying.
That's right. If you don't quit, you'll never fail.
That's right.
And I love one thing you say in business. I'm gonna have to make you say it. Whenever people get worried about mistakes that's made and everything in business, well, what do you say? You're either
earning or learning, and both are okay.
That's right. That's right. I love that. I've always loved that.
Yeah. I stole that.
Well, it's okay. That's okay.
Sure.
You make it your own.
And one other thing I stole that I want to say here today too. In business, you're either building your empire or you're destroying it, and you're destroying it through lack of action, lack of belief, and you just don't know what you're costing yourself if you don't move forward. Thank you all. I appreciate those comments too that are coming across.
All right, Stephen. Before I forget, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of tell about the person that's going to be on next week. Next week, we've got a guy that's going to come on. His name's Fletcher Wimbush. Now, he is the founder and CEO of the company called The Hire Talent. And he's also the author of the Hiring Talent Team Players, a guide to getting it right. And he's also the creator of Power Interview Guide, the most effective 30-minute interview ever. So if you're in business or, and you're looking to hire people, this could be incredible to watch. So most definitely make sure you check in. Also, it may be beneficial for those that know that they'll have to go through interview processes and kind of get some insight on the other side as well. So most definitely. So Stephen, you got any final words for everybody who's watching?
Just, you don't know what you can do till you try. You have to give yourself an opportunity. You have to go for it. You cannot afford to sit back and just say, well, what if? Because one day we're going to look back on our lives and we're going to wish that we had at least given ourselves a chance.
Correct. Excellent advice. And always have hope and faith and believe. Absolutely. Even though it's hard sometimes, believe in yourself. And I want everybody to know right now, I always say that, I believe that everyone needs someone in their corner. And if there are things that you're going through right now and you're struggling, I don't want you to give up hope. Please hold on and know that you can reach out to me and I will be there in your corner. You can reach me either by email, timothy@coachphelpscanhelp.com. You can also go on www.coachphelpscanhelp.com and get more information about me. You can reach me on Facebook. Of course, if you go to www.facebook.com/Phelps Can Help, you can get to my business page there. Most definitely, if you need somebody, let me be there for you. Let me be in your corner. Don't give up hope, and know that, look, me and Stephen both went through abuse. We've been through a lot. I've also went through neglect. I've been through battled addictions. I've been homeless at one point, and I was able to overcome those obstacles, find success. Stephen went through abuse. He's been through a lot as well, and he has been very successful. If we can do it, you can too.
Absolutely.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
All right. I just want to thank everybody for coming on. Thank you, Stephen, so much for coming on and sharing with us. And make sure everybody tune in next week to see Mr. Fletcher Wimbush and learn a little bit about the hiring side of business. We look forward to seeing everybody next Monday at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. And I hope that everybody has a blessed day. A blessed day. I always do
Have
it.
a blast.
Yeah. Have a blast and have a blessed day. And remember, Phelps can help, but it starts with God and massive ambition. Have a blessed day. Phelps believes that everyone has obstacles in which they must overcome in life. He believes that everyone needs someone in their corner. With God and massive ambition, Phelps knows that anyone can overcome the odds. So if you're looking to elevate yourself, Phelps can help.